Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, or welcome if you're new. It's been a while, but I'm Becca, and on this channel I'm reacting my way through eating disorder recovery alongside complex chronic illness, one video at a time, in an effort to help one or more of you on the other side of the screen feel either less alone, feel more understood, or to give you something to learn or to laugh about. And if I can do any of those things, that's like the best gift to me personally, so thank you for allowing me to potentially have that blessing. I recently, like 2 days ago, just got back from spending another 3 weeks in inpatient eating disorder treatment, and I'm not sure if this video is going to come out before a quick little update I plan on sharing, but I'm not going to give the full update in here. I just want to say thank you so far above and beyond. You all literally helped me physically get to treatment this time because we were not able to afford the plane tickets on our own. So you helped make this happen. I will give more of an update on that specifically, not in a reaction video, but part of my treatment contract for this like simple and doable and manageable plan that we now have is to get consistent on YouTube again. And if you've been around a while on this channel, I know you know I've not been super consistent. I do know that you know that I know you know. So bad attempt at Friends humor. Can you tell I'm not quite fully back into it yet, but we're getting there. And my goodness, 2 days after I got home, guess what's premiering? Vincent's Tale, the Prologue. So the first installment of Vincent's Tale by Ren, which is titled Sunflowers in parentheses Prologue. I don't want to give too much more of a preamble here. I'm going to be honest with you because, as you know, I can't do anything, but I'm a little nervous for this to be the first video that I'm filming back after treatment because I know it's going to be intense because we know that the tales in general are intense. I also didn't want to dig too much on like the speculation and stuff of everything that could be involved in this. Right off the top of my head, the fact that the prologue is titled Sunflowers makes me start thinking, okay, not only Vincent Van Gogh, or Van Gogh, which I cannot pronounce well, but I know that in the Doctor Who episode with Matt Smith and Van Gogh, it was pronounced like that in the correct way, I think is probably the correct way. Regardless, the painting of sunflowers that Vincent Van Gogh did, that whole Doctor Who episode, I would be surprised if there's not a connection to that storyline in that episode in here. Also, I'm just really eager to see how this is going to play out. So it's 4 minutes and 4 seconds of what I'm sure is going to be intense. So let's get to it and see what's happening here with Ren, Vincent's Tale, Sunflowers, Prologue, after we take our breath, of course. Okay. As regulated as I think I can get, let's do this.
Tragic scenes last night in London. A 14-year-old girl was found dead from a fatal stab wound. Her attacker, a 14-year-old boy, is in critical condition after a violent altercation with a police officer.
Okay. I'm trying to decide how I want to do this. You all know that I pause a lot, and I have stopped apologizing for that. However, what I think I'm going to do, as much as I have a feeling I'm going to want to pause this, like, to explain everything as it comes up, I am going to pause it this one time right here at the beginning, and then I'm going to do my best to minimize the pauses, try to watch it through with just my emotional reaction or, you know, whatever reaction I have, then run it back and break down the bars. So we'll see if I can stick to that. But I did want to point out that this sort of recap on the news here is recapping the story that we learned in the tales of Jenny, Screech, and Violet. So, oh buddy. All right, let's start it through. I'm gonna try, guys. I'm gonna try not to pause it, and then we'll go back. We'll see. You know me a little too well to know that I can't 100% promise that, though.
Tragic scenes last night in London. A 14-year-old girl was found dead from a fatal stab wound. Her attacker, a 14-year-old boy, is in critical condition after a violent altercation with a police officer. Over to reporters on the ground for more.
Oh, such a beautiful shame. The sunflowers will when the skies do not rain. It's a story I'm sure we all know. It's a moment of madness inside of the woes. We all fall down in London town. Shaky ground carries me. Whoa, rains down, blindingly loud. Never surrender.
pause to dissect, just a pause to say there's a lot we're gonna dissect. Holy moly, but I just want to take it all the way through first, except for that, to let you know it's coming. Don't think I'm missing these details. It's coming.
Oh, what a terrible scene. Here lie the corpses of corporate machines, planting seeds where the grass never grows. But the grass, it stays greener in places unknown as we all fall down in London town. Shaky ground carries me. Whoa, rains down, blindingly loud. Never surrender.
I'm genuinely scared right now. Holy moly! I'm speechless, so let's take it back and start breaking it down. Ah! So many emotions! Now, did that full watch-through reaction without pausing for the most part. So now is your warning, there will be lots of pausing as we go piece by piece and break this down, because there was not just a lot musically that Rin did impressively here, lyrically as well, in addition to the actual musicality, but every single detail of this video is so intentional, and I'm sure I'm not going to get all of them, but we're going to see what we can. So again, going to start it from the beginning where we know we're hearing that news story of the recap of the headline of Jenny and Screech and how that all ended, and then it seems like maybe this character at the beginning, his shirt says Luke on it. There has to be a parallel there that I'm not immediately grasping. However, I noticed that the guy as he's sitting here resembles Vincent van Gogh. Like, the red hair, the beard, his general vibe, sitting on the couch here, not the Ren once it gets to like that TV part, but literally looks like Van Gogh. So I don't know if that's Vincent that we're observing. I don't know if Luke is his name, if there's another meaning to that yet. I don't know just yet, but we're gonna find out. So let's get this thing going after I switch cold packs, because this one's no longer cold. All right, let's do this.
Tragic scenes last night in London. A 14-year-old girl was found dead from a fatal stab wound. Her attacker...
Hold up, so on the... I love the way that they've done this news story here. You know how on, news stations they usually have their own, like, logo in the corner somewhere or, like, spinning or doing some kind of motion? You can see the Sick Boy logo up there in the top right corner of this TV screen, spinning around, and then I'm pretty sure, like all this other stuff, obviously they created it, and we're opening up on this scene here where, yeah, let's keep it going, then we'll take it back again, sorry.
A 14-year-old boy is in critical condition after a violent altercation with a police officer. Over to reporters on the ground for more.
Oh, such a beautiful shame.
Oh, such a beautiful shame. So first of all, this man's voice is both soothing and the most, like, cathartically painful, cuts to the heart voice in existence, I think. And such a beautiful shame echoes right back to the "it's such a shame" in the tale, like the original Tales trilogy. So there are echoes of that throughout. I did pick up on some other lyrical echoes throughout, as well as some musical motifs that come up that are the same, which I'm sure we'll talk about more. But, like, I like that he's picking back up, even though this is clearly a different story. There is that connection. So I'm curious to see what this story is going to be. Again, don't know if this guy who's here literally rolling this is Vincent, or if his name is Luke, like it says in the shirt, or if Luke is maybe even like a biblical reference to, I don't know. We're gonna see. But I just wanted to remark on his voice and the way he delivers this, since we have already listened to it, I'll say, when he starts crescendo and he getting to that, like, high, really projecting his voice note there, I am getting chills every time, which is probably not a surprise. As soon as I finished recording, I realized I totally missed an obvious allusion to Chalk Outlines. Chalk Outlines deals with the topic of mental health and medication, and the lyrics that say, quote, "It's such a perfect day, it's a beautiful shame, it's a beautiful shame. I'm scared of being okay, 'cause all things change." This is definitely a parallel to Van Gogh's mental health struggles, and the mention of chalk outlines is also calling back to markings at a crime scene and or feeling like a zombie going through life. But here we go.
Oh, such a beautiful shame. The sunflowers wilt when the skies do not rain. It's a story I'm sure we all know.
The sunflowers wilt when the skies do not rain. It's a story I'm sure we all know. And I want to remark Vincent's tail, that text on screen, and sunflowers, both yellow to illustrate sunflowers. Yeah, the sunflowers wilt when the skies do not rain. That imagery comes up more throughout. So a story I'm sure we all know as he's getting ready to go into the next lines that are going to give me those chills. And I mean, he's sort of just capturing the vibe of just like, yeah, when the skies aren't raining, when things aren't happening in life, the flowers, the people who are the bright souls, like Vincent van Gogh, they kind of wilt. Maybe that's a stretch at parallel here, but knowing him, that very well could be part of the meaning.
Story I'm sure we all know. It's a moment of madness inside of the woes.
That zooming in on this character here was when I first noticed, oh my gosh, the person that he has got to play this role here resembles Van Gogh, like, in appearance. And then a moment of madness inside of the woes. So a moment of madness, we know that Vincent van Gogh dealt with his own mental health struggles and was seen as kind of mad / crazy in that term of the word mad in his time, and then was not appreciated while he was still on Earth. But then also in the video here, he's licking that rolling paper, getting ready to seal up what he's been rolling, and that moment of madness, like, sometimes, if you call back, actually, to the story of Titty and Screech, Screech was out of his mind because he had been smoking ganja with the boys. Okay, so we got that parallel here. Holy moly. A moment of madness inside of the woes. Screech was dealing with a lot of woes when he decided to take that violent action. That moment of madness and rage, and whether that's like feeling out of your mind in the sense of not fully being cognizant, or like your mental health is struggling, or moment of madness induced by a substance, whatever that is. A moment of madness inside of the woes, sometimes it's just what it is, and sometimes the escape from that, as he's referenced in Power and other songs, is sort of just taking an inhale off that and trying to let some of the negative, unpleasant emotions fade away. But here we go again.
Side of the woes, we all fall down in London town.
Do you see that all the lights are going on the beat on that? So we all fall down in London town. So also London Bridge is falling down. And then in London town was also brought up a lot, London city, far from pity, 200, all of the different openings to each of the previous three tales reference London town or London city, and We All Fall Down is such a clear allusion to the London Bridge, that song there. Also, We All Fall Down in Life. I'm glad I didn't pause this so we could take it all in the first time, because there's a lot going on here. And the video itself here, I want you to notice when it does that, we all fall down in London town. The lights in the background, the lights that are coming out from behind the dark wall, are literally going with every beat of that. As you're hearing, I believe the trumpets come in with that too. So, or brass at least, some brass instrumentation there. Again, attention to detail, and I know we've just got so much more. And I'll go ahead and point out the guitar sitting here on the couch. That cannot be a coincidence to the fact that he's like carrying the guitar in the tales, and he uses it to like illustrate the shots in the Tale of Screech and all that. So so much illusion here. Yeah, here we go.
Shaky ground carries me. Whoa, rains down, blindingly loud. Never surrender.
I think the lyric there says, war rains down, blindingly loud, never surrender. So, or I've kind of paused it here on the screen. This most recent time is when we're first getting that shot of the sunflowers that are on fire. So when the rain's not falling down, those sunflowers wilt. They get set on fire. They, for lack of a better word, cease to be alive, for lack of a more YouTube-friendly word. However, I'm kind of looking at this here. I don't think, again, there's a single detail that is accidental in this video. There's the darkness overall, but then you're going up to those sunflowers. There's a little ceramic ghost in the background. Maybe like representing the ghosts of your past, the ghosts of whatever you're dealing with, that madness in your brain, or just feeling like a ghost and like you're not seen in life. Could be a lot there, of course. And there's so much more imagery to the sunflowers burning, but I'm gonna try to break this down in little bits and pieces as much as I can. We'll see. And that brass right there, that brass playing, that trumpet playing, or the cornet, whichever it is the motif from, Screech, dear boy, where did he go? That's that same motif that he's using in there. And I'm looking at the video here too, like 9:10 to 2:16. I'm wondering if there's significance there. I don't know for sure. Actually, I'm pretty sure there's going to be some significance there that I'm just not picking up on. However, do you see beside the sunflowers that are on fire, a ceramic, I guess, jar, for lack of a better term, with paintbrushes in it? Van Gogh, bro. Starry Night, Vincent. By the way, Vincent, Starry Night is probably my all-time favorite Don McLean song. Might just edge out American Pie, although American Pie is pretty darn perfect. But anyway, back to the video. Is that painting up on the wall? Is that one of Van Gogh's paintings? I can't tell in the lighting, but it wouldn't surprise me if it is.
Oh, what a terrible scene. Here lie the corpses of corporate machines planted.
Oh, what a terrible scene. Here lie the corpses of corporate machines. So, oh, what a terrible scene. Of course, the Ginny and Screech story specifically. Here lie the corpses of corporate machines. We've talked about in those Tales reaction videos before how the pressure, and I mean, this comes up not just in the Tales, but in so many of his music videos, the Money Game Trilogy, Money Ties, which I still haven't reacted to, but I know it comes up there, and then many other songs where he is talking about the corporation's dominoes being another one, specifically relatable to me as far as eating disorder recovery goes. But Ginny and Screech lying there side by side, separated by a street, but they were two twins, like that same night. Corporate machines, they were all a victim of circumstances. They were all a victim of societal and worldly circumstances that ended in a very tragic way. And I'm a little nervous because it feels like this character we're seeing here might be headed that same way, although knowing that we've already watched through the video, I'm wondering I don't know. I'm not going to try to predict it, actually. I don't know if Ren playing the different roles that he was playing is supposed to actually illustrate Vincent, if this is supposed to be like Vincent here, but maybe then like this guy on the couch. But then we're maybe supposed to think that transitions to Ren, who's taking on the different roles, which seems like, you know what, no. We'll talk about what it seems like when we get into it even further, but here we go again.
Of corporate machines planting.
Corpses of corporate machines. Also, just want to remark on the consonants and assonants of that, like the C, and then not just the C, but the COR, so the corpses of corporate machine. Ah, okay.
Corpses of corporate machines planting seeds where the grass never grows, but the grass it stays greener in places unknown.
Holy moly. Here lie the corpses of corporate machines, planting seeds where the grass never grows. So tying back into those verses at the beginning about when there's no rain, the sunflowers wilt, these corporate machines have been planting seeds, so they're promising these things. They're promising these seeds, these kernels of hope or truth or whatever to you, like dangling a carrot, but the grass never grows because they're not actually going to rain down on that metaphorical rain here, because they don't want you to really they don't want you to really feel that. They want you to always think that grass is always green on the other side, which is what he's getting out with that next line about the grass is always green. What did it say when there's something untold? Let me go back and see.
But the grass it stays greener in places unknown.
But the grass it stays greener in places unknown. Holy moly. Okay, so unpacking that line even further. The grass, it stays greener in places unknown, again, does go directly to that phrase of like, you know, the grass is always greener on the other side. Something that you don't know, someone else's life compared to the struggle that you're feeling can often seem like a better alternative. But then whenever you get to whatever you think is going to be that greener grass in life, a lot of time you realize, actually looking back over here, that it seems a little greener over here. And it just speaks to that constant nature of corporate world and society never being able to find contentment, and also the word grass here not an unintentional choice, because what's he rolling up here and partaking in? Grass would be a slang term for that, and stays greener in places unknown. So maybe if you're partaking in that substance, I'm really trying to be careful with my words here, you're gonna be feeling like the grass is greener, like life feels greener or more doable or more okay, simply because you're sort of using that to disconnect from all of the unpleasant things that you're dealing with.
As we all fall down in London town, shaky ground carries me. War rains down, blindingly loud, never surrender.
Shaky ground carries me. War rains down. Blindingly loud, never surrender. So, shaky ground carries me. So, war raining down, there are going to be collisions on the ground and buildings and whatever that literally makes the town feel like it's shaking. Shaky ground carries me, so I feel like I'm kind of shaky. Shaky ground of not feeling steady in life, also very literal. Shaky ground from warfare, also maybe not feeling super stable because you've been partaking and your coordination might not be super on point. And then the way that they're zooming back in on those sunflowers that are on fire and are meeting their end as a result of that. And then you see this character that we have so far on the couch leaning back after he has taken that hit. He's just leaning back. And it's right when it says the word like never surrender. And I'm thinking, okay, so it sort of is like he's surrendering to just letting that substance flood his veins or his lungs and his body. Also though, kind of a little juxtaposition there of never surrender with an image that could be seen as surrender. But I think he's also just sort of emphasizing that no, never surrender, keep fighting even though things feel shaky, even though war is raining down, it's blindingly loud, but never surrender. Or maybe he's saying, I don't know, he could be going a lot of ways with that. Those little interjections there too. It's almost like he's illustrating someone gasping for just those little moments of life, or moments where the like those interjections here, which of course are perfectly on mute with the instrumental because he doesn't miss anything like that. It does sort of illustrate that to me. But now we're switching, as we can see. Ren, the actual artist and musician, is on this now TV broadcast, but I do believe that he is perhaps meant to, I don't know which one of these guys is supposed to signify Vincent in the context of Vincent's tale, but I know we're getting ready to see Ren go through several different things of daily life, and he's talking about corpses of corporate machines. Did I say that right? I don't know. I'm not going to check it back right now. But the scenes that we're getting ready to see Ren act out, as the tempo in each time, like there's the different scenes, and the tempo will go up a few clicks, then the scenes will repeat, and then just keeps getting faster and faster. I think it's supposed to illustrate that like corporate mentality of always go, never stop, never stop, never stop, keep going, because if we can keep you doing that, thinking the grass is greener, you're just going to keep wasting your life away, dictated by corporations and society, because that's what we're told to do and expected to do if we want to be able to, you know, make money in any way and live in this world. I love how, with that remote there, we were seeing him on the TV screen. So I do think, I could be proven wrong by the end of the Vincent's Tale, you know, the different parts of it, but I do think that what we're signifying here is sort of like a shift where Ren is now maybe that perspective of the guy that we were just seeing on the other couch, because Ren was on the TV and we had sort of like the blue light of the TV there, but then when he clicked that remote right on beat there, it switched to where you're only seeing what was formerly the TV, but that TV glow is taken away from it and it's darker, so maybe indicating this is like that same guy's life now, and he's sitting on a couch right here. So, oh buddy, yeah, he's got quite a look on his face. Editing Becca here with another quick note to say I have no idea how I missed those little voices in the background are saying Vincent. So literally just the motions of daily life here, and that sort of almost morose instrumental, foreboding instrumental in the background, switching with every 4 beats, he's switching to a new scene so far, something like that. He's just keeping this stone cold, like, lifeless look on his face. Oh my gosh, what this routine that I'm living, this day-to-day grind that is so repetitive, is sucking all of the actual life out of me. And I've just got this, like, deadpan apathy going through the motions like a robot, because that's what we're expected to do again a lot of times in society. And my goodness, how many of us can relate to going through the same daggone day over and over and feeling like it's never going to end, whether that's with chronic illness, whether that's related to mental health or life in general, because I sure know I can. Okay, so his expression in all of these scenes has barely, like, not had any change, except when we get here to the first scene where he's at a bar and he's taking a drink from this glass. He's kind of taking a drink and, like, looking down to the side, which will be down to his left. So almost like he's sort of pondering it, or maybe he's, like, second-guessing it, but, like, heck, I'm gonna do it anyway. But I think it's interesting that in all of the other scenes he was staring directly at the camera with that deadpan, like, look on his face, handing the change, typing on the computer, clicking the stuff, and then now he's taking a drink here and his eyes are kind of darting down. So, and I have a feeling, like, I think this is where it's going to start going a little bit faster with each repetition of this scene. So let's see. So there it goes again. That time he's back on the couch. So it is signifying a different day because he's got a different shirt on, but he's going through the same motions. The couch, the bathroom here. Now he was brushing his teeth the first time. Now it looks like he's kind of like washing his face. And you can see, I love that this is the first video I've reacted to since he's gotten his tattoos. And he's done other videos, I'm pretty sure. I've just not reacted to them, but I can see this So It Goes tattoo as he's like washing his face here where I have it paused. And then I saw Oh, I forget what his tattoo on his, like around his collarbone says, but it was showing up too. So I just think that it's really interesting, and I love the way that he's incorporated parts of his life and his music and himself into the ink that he has decided to keep on him. So that's pretty cool too. So he's getting more, it seems, upset and more exasperated and more run down with each scene that is showing now, even though we've seen the different scenes each time. Each one is having a little bit of a different twist on it, even though you can tell it's the same scene. So like, same story, different day. Is that right? Yeah. Yeah, so that would be, gosh, I had to think about my words there for a minute. Yes, same story, different day. So there are slight differences or slight different moments that we're seeing. However, that discordant piano in the background, the fact that each time it starts going through these scenes again, it's getting faster on the metronome to indicate that like panic and rising intensity. It's got me feeling a lot of things right now. And the fact that I'm just trying to get through this and be analytical about it is the only thing saving me from like feeling that panic hit me, even though I am feeling it. Trying to do my best to not let it come through the screen too very much just yet, because I gotta get through this. Also though, okay, the first scene where they showed us where he was in the bar, he was like drinking a pint glass. Now he's throwing back shots, so that also is indicating to me. And then, you know, he's smoking here as well. A friend kind of like joking around with him, but he's not even like acknowledging the friend. The friend's kind of smiling and joking, and Ren, playing this character here, still has this like just dead look on his face, or just like, yeah, I'm not here, apathy, whatever, I don't care. And also sensing a little bit each time, a little more exasperation, a little more exhaustion, and I'm kind of worried where this is going to end up, especially since we see some people in the background in some of these clips, and his friend here specifically, where Ren, the character he's playing, is outside smoking, and the friend's kind of like laughing and joking, but the character Ren's playing very much is not. It has me worried for where this tale, Vincent's tale, once all parts are said and done, is going to end up. Oh wait, I missed that fight the first time. Hold up. Oh yeah, so, okay, hold on. Okay, so here's something interesting here. At 3:07, where I've paused at least on my end here, it looks like the character the Ren is playing at the bar is getting into a bar fight with someone. The someone it looks like he's getting into a fight with, I did not mention this towards the beginning, but when we were watching that first broadcast, like the recap, and it was telling the story of Ginny and Screech, and it was like supposed to be the news story about that, there were people in these white sweatshirts with the beanies and stuff on in the background, kind of illustrating, I'm assuming, street hoodlum type stuff. I don't know for sure. However, there's no way that that's not the same people that are, there's no way. There's, with as much intention as he puts into things, I don't think that's a coincidence. I don't know exactly who they signify yet, but there has to be some significance there, and he's finally at that breaking point where, okay, fine, screw it, we're going. You wanna get violent? Let's go. I'm done. I'm done. Let's keep it playing. Okay, I want to remark here on this song that he has chosen. We were talking about how the tempo kept speeding up and getting more frantic, and that discordant piano and some of the like deeper background sounds were just like adding to that foreboding, panic nature. Then all of a sudden it cuts to silence as far as like that background goes, yet you still see him playing this character here at the bar. All of the other sound initially is cut out, except for like literally you can hear him, you know, setting the shot glass down and getting his card out and that. But then you have this song playing in the background, the lyrics that I can catch, something about down by the Mississippi shore, like every night for you my heart is falling, each day I love you more and more, or something like that. I don't know this song off the top of my head. I did do a very quick search to try to find it. My brain is not not doing the things super well right now. However, it's got that like early 1900s like crooner type vibe, and that doesn't surprise me because we know he enjoys that music. Although I'm also thinking like the contrast between the vibes of this song playing very quietly underneath this last scene where he's handing his card there, he's getting ready to like walk out. He's setting us up to get hit hard emotionally. I'm just saying, as if we haven't already just with the prologue. But take it back, just play this one other part here, this last little scene here, maybe talk about it a little, and then talk about that announcement for the first official installment on July 31st. He's talking about the shaky ground in London. You see him stumbling here because I'm assuming he's indicating he is intoxicated from the shots he's been taking. And again, that song is still playing, so that juxtaposition of the lighting here that has that kind of like just dark vibe to it, the fact that he's shaking, the fact that he's distraught, the fact that you sort of get this like feeling of apathy or like hopelessness or just being worn down by life. And you know what, well, screw it, here's my card, all right, see you next time. Now I'm gonna stumble out of here. Oh buddy. And as he's stumbling, he's still kind of got like this swagger though, so that I just love this. I love the layers. I wasn't initially going to try to break down this last little preview for Vincent's Tale, but the fact that it does have like that white sweatsuit on with the knit cap and stuff again, like the fact that I finally did put that together in like the bar fight scene, and he's playing these different roles here, and I have a feeling we're gonna get a lot of intensity when the rest of this drops in various parts. But oh my goodness, I'm not gonna try to predict a whole lot here yet. I just want to again let it play through the end, and then we're finished with this one, friends. Except I am going to mention that as he's in that light there, that both is reminiscent of like the Sick Boy music video, also the Cujo Beatdown music video, which I still haven't posted my reaction to despite finishing editing it months ago because Final Cut Pro is being a little jerk and I cannot figure out what my export issue is. However, I'm here for this. It's going to be hard, it's going to be intense, and we're gonna get through it together, isn't that right? Because it is good to be back. I am sure I missed a lot of things in that. I hope I at least touched on enough to make it a worthwhile reaction, and I can't wait to see you in the next video, friends. Please take care of yourselves, be gentle with yourselves. This world needs you. Catch you next time.